Hi all, welcome. Apologies, it's been a little while since our last video. We're just really busy as always, but we want to get to a point where we're having one video or two videos every week. This video I think is like 2 weeks. But if you like the video, and you think there's other people that would benefit from it, then please give us a like it and share it out. Again, the way that we are doing this video is that we are putting together like a presentation, and the reason we're doing it that way is that there's lots of live information that we can't show, so it allows us to take different content and put it together. If you don't like this particular way of presenting it, then again leave some comments below. It's always good to get feedback. Hope you find it beneficial. But today's video is really going to focus on apps within the Shopify App Store, apps that we currently use. Now there's a lot more than this. We're just picking some ones that we've felt that we've used. We have tried other ones in the past, but these are ones that we've stuck with and we've found them very beneficial. So we want to give some insight. There is a lot more in depth that we can go into than this, but just want to give you a quick insight and go from there basically. The reason this video came about is from actually our mentoring, like one of our students we had a chat with the other day, and we did actually look at some of these apps, and it made us think actually that would be a good video to make. And while the last video was all about building your store, while you're still building your store, these are things that is worthwhile to consider. You don't have to put them all in from the beginning. Some things you may want or may not, but it's definitely worth considering it. In terms of our one-to-one mentoring, today is our tomorrow is our last day of our sale. We're currently, it'll be £3,000 for 12 months mentoring. We've currently got reduced to £2,000, but from the 1st of April, and that's not an April Fool's, it's going to be back up at £3,000. So if you want to get involved in our mentoring, you want that support, then tomorrow is the last chance to, take advantage of that. So going into the video, first of all, we'll start with Clavio. And we're going to go through different parts within Clavio, but the first thing we want to talk about is campaigns. So campaigns in Clavio is where you actually create an email to then send out to your email list to then obviously, try and get sales and get some interest. We try to have campaigns every third day, sometimes more frequently, sometimes less frequently. Again, the same with our actual, our videos here. Our campaigns have been a little less frequent really recently, but it's good to, if you've got new products or new content or something that's worth putting out, then send it out in an email campaign. It's definitely you want to have a reason for sending something out. So if you've just added some new products, then send that out, or there's maybe some new information or something of value, then send that out to your email. Send out an email campaign. So here's some stats where we've sent it out. The first column is how many people opened it. The second column is how many people clicked on it, and then the third is the money that we generated from it. I've just taken some random campaigns. You'll see in there's two that we didn't make any revenue from it. So, in the second, if we go up to here, the 27.8%, 939 people opened it, 70 people clicked on it, but we didn't have any purchases. Yep. This down here is a good one. We've had 994 open it, 125 click it, and then we have over £5,000 of revenue from 2 sales. Again, here we've had 4 sales and we've had 3,500 revenue. So again, that's also a good campaign. One of the things that you do find though, however, is that sometimes Clavio takes credit for sales that's not necessarily related to Clavio. So you were maybe getting that sale anyway, but the person has clicked on an email. It could even be after they've bought it, or there's something linked to it, and then Clavio takes credit for that revenue. So there will be some revenue that's generated that's not necessarily aligned to Clavio, but Clavio believes that it is. After the campaigns, the next thing to go into is flows. And there's a lot of detail in this. Like, there's a lot of work has to be done in the back end to create these flows, create the design of them. So at this point, we're not going into that. We're just giving you an overview. But these are all the flows that we have set up at the moment within our back end system of Clavio. The abandoned cart, product abandonment, they're probably, I think they're the two best ones, but we'll come on to the statistics later. The next point is the sign up form. So like a pop-up when you come onto the website, the sign up form pops up, the person fills in the email address, and then that links into your lists, which gives you your list to then target for campaigns. But also, once they put that email address in and then they abandon the cart or the product, because Clavio then links it into them, it then allows them to retarget them as well. So it is good to have this, although the sign up form may be annoying for certain customers. It's definitely a good thing to help gather customer information to retarget, basically. Because with advertising being very expensive, once you've got someone onto your website, which you've done from your Google advertising, Facebook, TikTok, or some other avenue, you then want to capitalize on that person and get that sale as much as possible. So by having the sign up form, gathering that email address, or it can even be SMS, and then they're in your cycle of information, you can then start retargeting them through the flows or the campaigns, etc. And here's just an example of some of our lists. We've got different lists from different periods. We really started using Clavio the most from October. Like we realigned one of our lists, and you'll see this like 4,500 we've gathered since October. For a long time we didn't actually have the sign up form, and the reason we didn't was because we felt it was quite annoying for a pop-up every time to go on the website. But the long-term benefits are great for gathering that type of information, because it helps you retarget the customers. And then the other thing with Clavio is there is integration, so it can integrate into SMS Bump, Judgeme, and other ones. So with SMS Bump, when you're gathering list or information from Clavio, which you can take from a sign up form for SMS also, it then goes to SMS Bump. Now, Clavio also does SMS, and it's not something that we've actually set up yet, but it is an area worth investigating. Then you would have the whole SMS and email under the one app, and you wouldn't need to have a separate one. And then Judgeme, with Clavio integrated within Judgeme, again, that email list, it can then tell that people who've unsubscribed to your email list, and therefore when Judgeme goes to send out, it knows not to target specific people. So it is a viable integration. And then here's some statistics. We did look at last year, so this is going from January to December 2021. It shows that our total revenue from the website was 1.5 million. It doesn't factor in, obviously, our cancellations and refunds because of stock problems. Off the top of my head, I think it was roughly about 300,000, so we'd have finished on about 1.2 million, there or thereabouts. But what you can see is that Clavio is taking credit for 242,000 within that. And then it breaks it down into flows and campaigns. So it's saying that the flows help get 157,000 of that 242,000, and the campaigns got 85,000. So you can see there's a good value in having that set up, because your $250,000 that you've got from Clavio. Now, as I said before, some of these figures will take credit for sales that you probably would have got anyway. But even if it was half of that, you're only 120,000, it's still £120,000 that you wouldn't have got without having Clavio. So it completely pays for itself. And if you look down below, you'll see the breakdown of the flows, like the abandoned checkout, the welcome flow, and the product abandonment. They're the top 3 revenue generators for Clavio. So definitely a very useful app to have in your Shopify store, especially for high-ticket dropshipping. Next, we're going to look at SMS Bump. Again, it's got similarities to Clavio in terms of how you set it up, but we don't use it the same level of features within this as we do within Clavio. We keep it relatively simple, and we haven't used it as long as we've used Clavio. You'll see our balance there, it's got like $10, but within the setup, you have it so that as soon as the balance gets to 0, it automatically tops it back up, and that's all just done within the settings. So first of all, campaign planner. So in here, if you wanted to send an SMS campaign, and when you send an SMS campaign, you quickly notice the volume of traffic come up on the website. It spikes up very quickly, because a lot of people open SMSs compared to open emails, when you send an email campaign, you may notice a small increase in traffic, but SMS sent at the right time gives a huge boost on traffic. So it's definitely a way to quickly reach people for certain campaigns. And then you've just got the cost of the SMSs for that, but it's definitely a useful tool. Here you just basically set the campaign up depending on what you want to say on the SMS. Put the information, all your subscribers. We've got 572. It's nowhere near as much as our Clavio list. It's quite small in comparison. And again, it's just for the amount of time, and we've never focused on gathering text mobile numbers for that purpose. You could take a more view that you want to gather mobile numbers rather than email addresses, where our pop-up form has got asking for email addresses. You could make it like for a mobile number, and then grow your audience here so that you're having a higher target on email rather than a higher target on SMS rather than email. But these are all just different things to test. Within our flows and automations, we basically just set up two after 30 minutes and after 10 hours. And you'll see here that we've sent 281. We've had 41 clicks on our abandoned cart, and it's generating a revenue of 48,000. So it's over more than 1,000 per click. And if you look at after 10 hours, we've got 42,000 from 24 clicks, which is fantastic, revenue from the amount of clicks it's had. Good order value. Again, similar to Clavio, there will be some figures in there that SMS is taking credit for that I believe you would get those sales anyway. But again, it's an additional tool to retarget customers that you've driven from Google or somewhere else, and then you try and retarget them so that you get that sale basically. And similar to Clavio, we've got lists, and you'll see that the Clavio lists appear within SMS Bump. And that's why we just put the Clavio down there just to show you the integration. But our text marketing list is all generated from Clavio basically. So we're pulling all that information from Clavio, from people signing up or orders or something like that, or so as much as you can, you want to grow that list basically. The next app that we use is Pusho. So we've got Clavio for emails, SMS Bump for text messages, and then Pusho is just a push notification. So if you're on the PC, and I think also does it on Android, where when you're on the PC, a little pop-up comes up and it says, we would like to notify you of announcements from Solomia or whatever the website is. At that point, you allow or you block it. And when you allow, there's no phone number or no email address or anything given. It's just a allow and that's it. And then when you send a push notification, it then pops up onto your PC or, like I said, on Android. So from this, we've got like £53,000 generated from the whole time we've used it. We have used it for quite a long time. We do campaigns. We have the automation. It's nowhere near as good as the SMS or the email, but again, it's another way to generate additional revenue that you may not have got, without it. If you look at our campaigns, because again we've sent campaigns, we've had £18,000 from that. Our average click-through is like 1.13%. So it's £18,000 that we possibly would never have got without sending those campaigns out. And again, on the automation, we've got a welcome notification, abandoned cart, and then our browse abandonment. So if someone looks at a product and then leaves, now bear in mind they've not given an email address, they've not given a mobile number, but they have allowed to get notifications, then they've just looked at a product, and then we can retarget them with a pop-up on their PC. And you'll see here with 13,000 from that, and then the abandoned cart revenue 22,000. So it's a good amount of additional revenue to gather. And then on top of that, with the Judgeme review app that we use, you can send push notifications to also get reviews. The same as you can send it through SMS. So you've got Clavio, SMS Bump, and then Pusho, all to help you get reviews. Because growing your reviews is also important for social proof, for giving people comfort to purchase from you, basically. Another app, which we'll put in the link below, I'm not the best at pronouncing this, I think it's Metrixfy or something like that. It used to be called something else. But this allows you to mass import products and export products. So you can create a template in terms of how you set your products up within Excel, and then you import that in a certain format into Shopify, and it uploads lots of products very quickly. It's a good way to mass upload products, and the more you use it, the better you get at it. Even for filling in your SEO information and certain product information, those parts which maybe are a bit boring before, it helps speed that whole process up. So it's an app that we would highly recommend. If you were if you were putting in a lot of products. If you're not doing lots of volumes of products, then it's maybe not needed. But for us, we've got 5,000 products, and this has made a significant difference. There'll be a link below to the app so you can go and have a look at it into more detail. But you basically just import and export products into here. The next one is the Seo Boosters App. We have this. The biggest thing that we used it for was to optimize our images, because when we built the website, we did have quite large images, and that was a mistake in the way that we built the website. And to try and compress those images and reduce those images, it would be a huge task to go through 4,500 products and change all the image sizes. Now, not all of them are like that. It's probably maybe the first 1,000, but even then, it's a huge amount to go through. But there's other benefits in here, like your URL optimization, the broken links automates as well. So you'll see in here that this is saying that it's fixed 41,000 things on our website. Our health is a A, and it predicts that from all the fixes it's done, it would have cost us $37,000 to get that fixed elsewhere. I'm not entirely 100% sure how amazing an automated SEO program is, but it's definitely helping the website. I would say, for the tool and the cost of what it is, it's a great add-on to have on the website. And if we look at the image compression, this is just as an example. There's the amount of files that we've had renamed for image rename. Our image compression, now that 1.14 gigabyte is only based on this month, because there's like a limit for the month, and then it refreshes, and there's an example of some compressed images. So like 67% save, 63, 34, some lower down at 16, but it makes a significant difference in terms of the size of the images on our website. But one of the things that, if you were really want to focus on SEO, I would look at someone like Neil Patel, and again, we're going to give you a link down below, because SEO is really a specific area, and especially with high-ticket dropshipping, where you're possibly building a website as a business, for a long term, and you're trying to go up in the search rankings rather than paid traffic, then SEO is a whole area that is worth looking into. And like I said, we'll put a link down to an article from Neil Patel. Very good place to do some research on SEO. And it'll give you some more information. And next is our Zendesk. So we use Zendesk for our customer service. And if you're looking to have an amazing level of customer service, I would highly recommend Zendesk. We use something before, like a chat app to talk to customers. But the back-end system of Zendesk is great, and if you have other people working in the business, you can assign different things to them, different tasks. You can create some automation. We don't use it anywhere near to its capabilities, but it's an amazing tool. I'd really recommend it. Here's like a snapshot of the different functions, and what we really use is the chat and the talk. So the chat gives us live chat on our website, which is on our phone as well as on the PC. And then we've got the talk function. So with the talk function, we have a London office number, which we can take calls and make calls from the PC with a headset, or we can take calls from the mobile phone. We then have a voicemail recorded within the chat system, the talk system. So that allows us to take voicemail messages, also puts customers on a hold queue, so that they can wait for you until you're finished with another customer, and then take that call. But it's the back end system is far better than anything else that we'd ever seen, and you can store a lot of information in there. It synchronizes into Shopify, So you can store customer, like, if you're having a chat with a customer, that links into the order. There's an order there with the customer. You can see that information. You can have historical notes to record from previous conversations so that you can go back to them. So in terms of providing a great level of customer service, I would highly recommend Zendesk. And then Judgeme, which is what we mentioned earlier in the process, is that's a reviews app. It's been fantastic, to be honest. You can have different types. You get reviews on the products. You can have photos. You can have videos. You've got reviews. You can have reviews information on your home page or different pages. You can have a reviews page. Judgeme independently has a reviews page. You can request reviews, so you can have it set automatically, or you can force it to look for reviews. Even if someone's not giving you a review, you can chase that review back up. So it's definitely a good tool that we have used, and it's a good way to build social proof. So here's an example, on the home page, which is like a carousel of current reviews showing information. There's an example on the Judgeme, just the same as Trustpilot. You've got your own Judgeme page, but you can do a lot of customization in there. Then also people can find you through rankings. So if someone searches your company name and reviews and you have a Judgeme page, then that also comes up on the rankings, and they can see a lot of information about you there as well. And then finally, to finish off, with the whole kind of customer service, providing a great level of service, it's not an app on Shopify, but we do have WhatsApp on our website, and it's fantastic for customers to communicate with. You can set up automated messages also within the WhatsApp business there, but it's a quick way for people just to get in touch. So many people's got WhatsApp. I would say probably everyone's got WhatsApp. And they can leave you a message, you can respond to it, keeps all that information from before, you can reach back out to people. I think it's fantastic, but it's also can be very time consuming because of how easy you are able to get contacted. It makes it, you'll get a lot more messages, and people will send you messages at times that you're possibly not working, but you can have automated messages to respond to them. But from a customer's perspective, it's an amazing tool for someone to be able to reach out and get a hold of you. So that's us finished for this one. I hope that was useful for you. It gives you a good insight into some different apps that we're using, why we're using, the benefits of them. We will look at some other apps in the future. We're also going to continue with more features in terms of the back-end system of Shopify that you've got to do when you're developing your website. But if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Give the video a like, share it out, and as mentioned at the beginning, our mentoring is currently £2,000 for today and tomorrow, and then on the 1st of April it goes up to £3,000 for 12 months mentoring. Have a great day. Thanks.